You're listening to the sound of the 80s with the Old Skool Movements podcast.
Here we go for another episode of the Old Skool Movements podcast with myself, Mr. Lucas.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, Oscar TG?
And I am the last dragon, aka Axel Foley.
Yes, we're back again for another 80s ride, retro ride back to the 80s, as we love talking about everything we loved in our childhood. As you know, guys, thank you again for all our listeners around the world. We appreciate you guys so much. We'll be going back into the chocolate zone. It's a chocolate zone. Yes, it's chocolate bars part 2, guys. We're going to go for our favorite chocolate part 2. Did you guys enjoy part 1?
I felt like Augustus Gloop when he fell into that river of chocolate. Man, where's the Olympus?
It got me thinking about chocolate an awful lot. On the following day, I just went straight to that tuck shop with it. What did I send the picture of? It was a
Crunchy, innit?
Crunchy, yes.
I went straight. I was looking for a drifter, but I couldn't find one.
Just like last time, we're going to score it out of 5. So, like from 1 to 5 in our ratings of our chocolates.
I was reading recently that there was a study done in the UK that apparently each adult averages eating 6,048 chocolate bars in their lifetime. I'm sure I've done that.
6,048.
6,048.
I would say I was way past that.
The average person.
Average person. Like, where are they asking these people? On the Shetland Isles or something?
Yeah, exactly. Average person where?
Isn't it?
Shetland Islands, you know.
That's a couple of years worth there, man.
I was doing 4 chocolate bars a day for like a good part of 7-8 years.
Exactly.
And if you want to get technical, anything containing chocolate cookie, that chocolate cake. It's just
the examples they give are Kit Kats, Milky Ways, Snickers, Bounties, Mars, that range of bars. But you clear that. You'd clear that easily.
Yeah.
I think we'd double that.
Easily.
Exactly.
That's crazy. All right, let's go. As we were saying, with Leroy likes the big bars. He likes the big chocolate bars. But we're going to start off where these bars were kind of small. And Leroy, you probably bought about 5 of these each if you didn't like the small bars. So we go straight in. We're going straight in for those under 20p treats. Under 20p treats.
I'm going oblique size. Asterisk and oblique size.
Carry it on your back.
Saying that, one of these was kind of long. I used to think this was massive. I used to think this was massive when I was about 1 meter long. I swear this was about 1 meter long.
It was like a ruler. They were like a ruler, and they were curly and they were whirly, weren't they?
You carried it like a plank. You had it on your shoulder.
Like you were a painter.
You were a painter. You would carry it like your plank.
It'd be like something you give to Morph. You could imagine Morph walking with it on his shoulder. There. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you probably guessed it, man. They're 10p. They were Cadbury's. Cadbury's just popped this out. They were like the Robin to the main Cadbury's. It's the Curly Whirly.
The wavy and whirly and curly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whirly.
Curly whirly. The plank of chocolate.
Whirly. The plank of chocolate. Shabba planks. Up against the Cadbury's Curly Whirly. This is definitely a 10p.
This was definitely. I think it was cheaper than that. I think it was like 5p or so.
Maybe cheaper than that. Maybe it's 10p now.
Go on.
That was big currency back in the day, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Big currency. I had to think my mind back in 80s buying this thing. It was big currency.
What you could get for 10 pence and 5 pence.
Exactly. And I think this must be about 7p. They're them kind of numbers they bring in 7p.
Like a 4p, a 6p, a 7p.
Yeah. Anyway, up against the Cadbury's Curly Whirly. I know Leroy knows the advert. Look, we all know the advert.
Yeah. Famous advert.
It was 7p or 7.5p. It is the fudge.
I knew it was going to be
the Cadbury's fudge.
As far as I can remember, yeah, I think you're right. I have a 7.
A 1, 2. A 1 2 3.
A finger of fudge is just enough to give the kids
a treat.
Oh my god!
Just enough until it's time to eat.
Yeah.
Look, every goodness and something.
And very small and neat.
Oh, that's like on Two Little Boys level, man. What were they? What sort of
mate
finger of fudging are they? Advert songs?
You know, there's 70s dodgy songwriters.
Thinking about it now, I was like, oh come on, man. What was that?
Those crow-clawed songwriters of the 70s
Yeah.
and 60s.
Full of calories, goodness.
Some missing messages in there. Like.
Yeah, hidden messages. Finger of fudge is just enough.
I love a
To
fudge.
give your kids a treat.
That
Fudge
fudge
is
is creamy,
good.
isn't it? And it's got just the right amount of chocolate.
Just the
on it.
Because there's levels. If you just have fudge, fudge from
Yeah.
Funfair, fudge
Yeah.
from Funfair.
Nah,
It's
I'm not
too
feeling it.
sweet.
Too
Not
sweet.
feeling it.
Yeah,
It's
Too
just a
sweet.
block of sweetness.
Like sugar.
soft
Yeah.
yeah,
It's too, for me, it's too much.
yeah.
But a fudge with a bit of chocolate
That's
and
the
a fudge
perfect
inside, and it fills that gap.
Yeah.
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 Well worth the money.
It's, you know what? I don't know if it's because of the advert where it's the only chocolate that you could convince your mum to have before dinner.
I know what you mean.
That or a Milky
Yeah,
Way. The
yeah.
Milky Way was
Yeah,
my
or
one.
a
of that.
Milky Way, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't ruin your appetite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could.
Yeah.
can
I
get
think
away with
Milky
a
Way
fudge.
is because it's so. Milky Way was so airy, didn't you?
Yeah.
When you bite into Milky Way,
Proper
just like what your teeth just clank together. It's like, wow, where's the bits? Where's the inside? Where's the good
So
bits
true.
of this chocolate?
It's true.
It's very,
So true, man.
it was bad,
What happened to the inside?
but there was a taste. There was a taste that went on. in
Yeah.
there. It's like
Yeah,
foam. It was like chocolate covered foam.
Milky Ways
It
are
was-
weird.
You know that
Yeah,
foam
they're
you see at
weird.
the seaside?
Oh,
That's why it's not in our. That's why it's not in our thing. It's not a new challenger. It's not coming in.
It's
got
not
one of those.
coming a new
It's got one of those
challenger.
foreign tempees. There was people go arcade of foreign tempees and they don't work in the machine. There's no new challenger for the Milky Way on this one.
The Milky Way had a nice advert, but that's about it.
I didn't remember a Milky
I don't
Way.
know,
advert.
no.
Oh, the blue car and the red car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red
Oh,
car
yeah,
and the blue
almost-
car had
yeah.
a race.
It did have a really good
All I wanna do is
advert.
stuff his face.
It was
Yeah.
it was almost like a pop video.
Mm,
The animation.
yeah.
It was a good-
Advert must have been
yeah.
That was
expensive.
They
Big
spent
advert.
some years of budget on that video, man.
Yeah, it was.
It's not even in the charts we're going on about.
Isn't it? Where did you-
Let's go. Curly Whirly versus
Curly
Fudge.
Whirly and fudge.
I get
What
this
we
about
saying?
Curly Whirly then. Curly Whirly been in the UK since the 70s, but it got launched in the US in 73, and a year later, or around the same time, Mars launched their version, and their version of a Curly Whirly is called a marathon.
Is it?
So when we talk about marathon being
In
Snickers
the US.
in the US, a marathon is a Curly Whirly. Yeah.
Oh.
Pardon? Hold on, wait.
Oh,
no.
wow.
What are you talking about, Willis?
So during the 70s and 80s,
Wow.
when our Snickers were called marathons, the US had a chocolate called a marathon, but it was their
It was a
version
Curly Whirly.
of the Curly Whirly, but it was made by Mars, whereas ours was made by
Cadbury's, isn't it?
Cadbury's. Yeah, ours was
It's
Cadbury's,
Cadbury's.
and then
Yeah.
Mars
They
made
changed
the
the
US version, and that was called the Snickers.
Wow.
But I think it's been discontinued. I think it got discontinued in the 90s or the noughties.
So
Okay.
all our US listeners, do you remember the marathon? The marathon bar.
Which should be like a ladder of toffee dipped
Like
in
a-
chocolate, almost like a
chocolate.
lattice or a laddery
Yeah. Snakes and
toffee
ladders.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Well-
Okay.
Whirly.
So what we saying? Curly Whirly or Fudge, guys? What is your choice?
I was never a big fan of Curly Whirlies.
I didn't have them often, but when I did, I know it felt like having a treat because it was long. It felt like I was
Yeah.
getting something different. So I was more excited to have a Curly Whirly than a fudge. So I'm going to rate Curly Whirly 5, fudge 4. I do love a fudge flavour. Even now, still tastes weird.
Yeah. There's something special
I
about
still
fudge
love
flavour.
I'm gonna give fudge a 4 and Curly Whirly a 3.
Okay. Leroy?
So I'll give Curly Whirly 4, and I'll give the fudge a 3. Yeah, I was greedy like that.
Okay. Nice, nice.
Yeah, because fudge didn't suffice for me.
What was your preference over those two?
I think it might be the Curly Whirly for me. Because the Curly Whirly, you could do stuff. I like to put this in the fridge
Yeah.
and get that Curly Whirly.
You could like
That's
shatter
like-
it, couldn't you? When it got
yes.
really cold, you could like
Like
shatter
too
it.
hard when it's in
Yeah.
the fridge, break your
No,
teeth.
it was, or you could have it in the summer where it's all wiry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like chocolate mozzarella. You know, like that
Yeah.
that cheese pull, that toffee pull.
Yeah,
Do you feel they were more chewy back in the day? So I can remember like
They
really
were.
getting my teeth stuck.
got stuck in your teeth.
Now
Yeah.
they're almost like a fudge inside. They're very easy to eat now.
I
They
haven't
don't get
had a
stuck.
Curly Whirly for so long. So
I
I
haven't
don't-
had one.
They're still about. They're
Yes,
still
but
about.
I've bought one
yeah,
recently.
yeah, you could buy them in packs and stuff.
Yeah,
can't you?
yeah, you got the packs. You get bits as well.
I feel like I need to give a special mention to someone who made me go out to the petrol station in the middle of the night while they were pregnant because they had a craving for Curly Whirly.
That's a good craving.
I just feel like I have to I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the petrol station. Oh, wicked! Can you get me a curly whirly? What?
Give me 10.
It's 1 a.m. and it's a petrol station. Petrol stations don't really sell curly whirlies. Too tough.
You got to be lucky in a petrol station.
Did you find
Yeah,
it?
leave it.
No.
Oh.
You got a fudge instead.
I went the following day. I think I went the following day. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything more just in case I get outed.
Yeah.
What are your scores, mate? What are your scores, D?
I'll say 5 for curly whirly, just for the transformation of having it in the fridge or having it soft. It was versatile. It was versatile. So
Yeah.
I'll say 4 for curly whirly. I'll give them both a 4. They're both good, but curly whirly just had the edge.
I mean, I still have a
4,
fudge now. Like, no problem.
Yeah. All right. So curly whirly looks like it was a bit on top there.
I think it's the winner, man.
So let's move on to these two. These two are so like incognito. We all know these two, but they was just like how the Milky Way had that air.
These were
when
airy,
you-
definitely.
These were very airy, and one came out before
Aerated,
the
I
other.
could say.
One had like about 4 different flavors, but the second one was kind of quiet, and it came out in the 80s, and it just
Literally
worked.
quiet.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, first off, we have the Aero.
Ooh.
Up against the Aero, as we said, came out in the
Lovely,
80s. Lovely chocolate. It was smooth. It was quiet. It was a whisper. It's the whisper
That's a tough decision.
versus Aero.
Sorry. Rewind and come again. Please, can you say that again, please, Theo? Because that was funny as hell. Yeah, I like that one. I like
what
that
are we
one.
saying? These two are really good chocolate, really nice chocolate bars.
They're both really. When the whisper came out,
It was, and it was so
It's better chocolate for me. It's
just chocolate, but the way
Yeah.
they
it's Cadbury's, so it's
what
gonna
they did
taste.
with it is like
Yeah,
But it
It was just
it was
chocolate.
airy, but it had just more.
yeah.
Just more. It was an aero, but
This
better.
one was nice.
But with better flavour, yeah, it's more flavour than the Aero.
it was a blockbuster, man.
Out of the Aeros, it's the chocolate one that's my least favourite. I like the mint. I
Mint,
love the orange.
or the
I like
orange.
the mint. It's the chocolate one I
Yeah.
never really bought.
Yeah, it's true.
The chocolate one's all right though.
Unless it was the bar that you broke as well. You used to be able to get them in a single
Yeah.
bar. They didn't taste as
Yeah.
good as what
Yeah.
they did in the bar that you break. That's got the segment.
Yeah.
Segment
Yeah.
bars are better.
But I used to love an orange. That was my Aero.
Orange and mint Aeros, yeah. They're the original
Mint all
bubbly
day.
chocolate,
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
I think this is a hard one. It's a really,
hard
really
one.
close.
Yeah.
call,
Whisper's
because
got
the
a taste that
texture-
can't be beat.
Whi-
really,
yeah,
man.
Whisper's-
Yeah, the texture of both of them
yeah.
is really good. It's really
Yeah.
nice. Melt in your mouth, silky smooth
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
texture.
score them both the same, you know.
Yeah, I think
fair
so.
enough.
I think I'm going.
I think I'm gonna go 4-4.
I'm going
because
4-4,
can't,
mate.
I can't split them apart at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because with Aero, these are just chocolates that you take your time eating. Just
Yeah,
You don't want it to
back-
finish.
the quality.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the quality in both chocolates.
Yeah.
Oh my days. Chris,
Yeah.
don't say anything.
Yeah.
No, mate, they're both. I'm with that, man. Aeros have been around since 1935. They're originally
What?
launched in the north of England as a trial, and they were so
What?
popular. The chocolate Aero, the original bubbly bar, and they were so popular that they got launched across the whole of the UK 1936. Whereas the Whisper, I remember the Whisper coming out 1981. That was launched.
So did I.
81.
Okay,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
81.
remember it being.
I thought it came out later.
I thought
That's
it came out
exactly what I was
later.
gonna
Yeah.
say.
It was the south of England 81 and went national in 83.
Okay, because I do
Still earlier than
remember.
I thought.
Still earlier, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Whisper. I remember it coming out. I remember Whisper.
We were in
Yeah.
primary school when it came out. I'm sure we
Yeah.
definitely were. Because I remember.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were in primary school. Yeah.
So that'd have been
Wow.
before 85. So 83 sort of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
I would have
sense, makes
thought 86, 87.
And you remember they got discontinued as well around
sense.
2007.
Didn't they?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it took a some protest or something for not
Protest,
protest, but you know when
I know,
they
yeah.
rioted and whatever.
Yeah.
Riots all over
Bring the
central
Whisper
London.
back.
There's a riot going on. Got a Whisper. There's a riot going on.
Then they said, all right, we'll bring it back as a one-off for a year, and it's never gone back since. It stayed. I
Yeah,
think
no,
that was
Whisper
2008. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been back since then.
Oh, it's
How
brilliant.
can you not
Whisper's
have
brilliant.
Whisper? Yeah, it's a classic. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would pick it if I had the choice. Just
Yeah,
because
I
it's a
would
bit
pick Whisper
smoother,
over. I would pick
smoother
Whisper
and nicer
over
chocolate.
Aero.
But both 4-4 for me.
I'm going 5-4. I'm going 5-4
for Whisper.
5-4 Whisper.
Yeah, I think DL, what you said has made me change my mind because I'd be more content with a Whisper than I would, or satisfied.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, it's true. I would.
No, I don't think it's a Jedi mind trick, because when I was thinking
I
about
saw his
it,
hand go.
you will like Whisper. No, I think satisfying, which was more satisfying to me.
Yeah.
I've got to say,
You
Whisper.
indulge in a Whisper, innit? You just eat an Aero.
Yeah.
It's true.
What are you marking
yeah.
Whisper, Leroy, mate? What are you marking it?
I'm going to give Whisper a 4 and Aero a 3.
3.
They're all 3. Okay. Chris, what did you say?
I went 4-4, but if they were sitting there, I probably would go Whisper.
Yeah, that's
It's a tough decision. It's a very tough decision to make. They're
well,
both
this is
really
why
good
this
chocolate.
is why we're doing it, because that's what we want. Decisions. All right. So
He's on a roll today. I tell you something.
next to the Aero, in front of the Aero and the Whisper, we're on, as we had these on the last one, we had the packets of chocolates, Did anyone ever count how many you would have? Imagine if we got a packet of Maltesers, a packet of minstrels, and counted how many were in each packet.
Nah, ain't got time for that.
You don't have
'cause
time
you know
for that,
what?
do you?
Once you've had that first one, you ain't stopping to count.
Yeah.
It's the next one. They're gone.
As we were saying, in the previous podcast, we talked about the packets of chocolates. You like these packets of chocolates, but remember when you had chocolates in tubes, like a tube of chocolates? And these 2 tubes of chocolates are ones, again, they weren't the go-tos, and they were kind of expensive, but they were part of your childhood because you would buy them. So the first one, this one worked on Valentine's Day. This was the Valentine's Day chocolate. This was the beeline in school chocolate.
It didn't even have to be Valentine's for this one to work.
No.
But
You want to move to
Valentine's,
someone, you're buying these.
it was the beeline. It was the beeline chocolate, and she knew that if you gave her your last one, what was up?
Let's get it on.
the school beeline chocolate. And I haven't seen these in so long, and
true,
they are the Rolos. Now,
Actually, a
up
Rolo.
against the Rolo, this next one is like part 2 of the Rolo, because it's just added biscuit to its Rolo. It's like if
gosh.
Twix had kids. It's just little Twixes in squares.
It's square, pyramid,
mate.
Twix.
And that's why that's why the Twix is in the packet together, but they kept on producing these little munchies.
Yeah, little munchies.
It's the Rolos versus the cheeky little munchies made by Twix.
I actually want to hear a story from Chris regarding the Rolos. Come on, tell me the success, Chris.
I don't think I got any Rolos. Rolos were one. It was one of them early ones. I can remember, because it used to come in silver foil. Remember, if you took the paper off, then it'd be silver foil, like how a Kit Kat was wrapped around, like you say, a tube of chocolate. And I can remember getting these really young.
Gateway chocolates.
These were gateway
Rolos are,
ones,
man.
yeah.
They were
These gateway
soft.
ones
They were
for me.
safe, soft and safe.
Soft and safe, yeah. Soft and safe.
Munchies were bloody expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell
You ain't
yeah.
getting munchies.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
munchies were later. Munchies were a bit later on,
Yeah,
and they were
that's when you
bordering
like-
adult as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're buying munchies when you're in secondary school
Yeah.
and you haven't
Yeah.
used all your lunch money.
Yeah.
Munchies.
Yeah.
were a
They weren't
treat.
cheap.
For real.
And munchies was something I saw in packets in the cinema and thought, I can't afford that.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. Well, they're 70p, you know.
Yeah, I
Can't
can't.
afford them.
I'll stick to the treats. Treats don't let me down.
Stick with the treats.
Did you
Yeah.
Did you ever come across the hazelnut munchies?
I did hear of stories of the great
I
hazelnuts.
heard of those, but never came across them.
They are the best.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving munchies 5.
A bit Ferrero Rocher sort of
Oh.
tasty, like a
Mate, it doesn't even taste like that. It's its own taste.
Munchies is top tier.
Munchies are top tier.
yeah.
They are.
top
Munchies
tier.
good. I'll say they're the sequel to the Rolo. They were just Rolo but added biscuit.
But added
That's
biscuit.
all they were.
But if you've got a
Yeah.
Twix, you'd say a Twix is quite boring. But as a munchie, it's
But as a
totally
munchie, it's
As
a
a
Munchies
munchie,
more than it's more than a
different,
Rolo
Yeah,
biscuit.
Munchies
isn't it?
has
It's more
something.
than that.
Yeah, it's better than Twix.
There's something in the chocolate. The chocolate's like more solid.
Yeah, munchies are good. So Stats, you're saying five for
Yeah,
munchies.
5
what
for
you saying
Munchies.
Rolos?
Munchies are big. I like Rolos. I'm gonna give them a 3.
Yeah, Rolos had good adverts, and like you say, they taught you how to chirp. For our
Yeah.
listeners, that's to chat up the females, the ladies.
Your crush.
Yeah, your
Is that
crush.
Your primary
that's
school
it.
crush.
And what was the slogan?
Yeah, they were crush
Do you love
the crush
anyone
chocolate.
enough? Do you
Yeah.
love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo?
That was it. Yeah, for years that slogan went about.
As Chris was saying, it didn't have to be just for Valentine's Day, but
Any day one.
but it was any day romance chocolate. But Valentine's Rolos, it just stood out. It's weird how adverts could just have a perception of a chocolate.
Make it
Yeah.
better than what it is. sort of thing.
Yeah. Would you?
No,
I didn't like Rolos, if I'm being honest.
They were all right.
No,
I didn't really like it.
All right.
Yeah,
they
they're
were
all right.
okay.
They're okay, but
they're
I'm
all
giving
right,
it some
they're only
scores that now.
So what are you giving the Rolos?
Yeah, I'm going to Zelda from Terrorhawk scores. So I'm going Young Star 1.
1. Whoa.
Yeah, 1 for Rolos, man. Good adverts, but
Isn't it?
the chocolate was weak, and I didn't mind sharing it out.
Another one that's been about since 1937. It's one of them old
Well,
school.
it could stay in 1937, but Young Star, yes, mother, I give it 1. Yes, 1. Goodbye.
And for the munchies,
And for the Munchies, 5 Stratmosphere levels.
I'm gonna score Rolos for 3, munchies 5.
3 and 5. I'm going 3 and 4. Same way around. Yeah, 3 for a Rolo because it was average.
Rolos were
Yeah,
dead.
Munchies were good, man. I'm giving them a 4.
Munchies are very good.
All right, so coming in for our next bars. These bars here, these were the first one I'm going to introduce. When I think of this bar, I just think of Britain. It's it's so British. It's like the BBC, the Action Man, the
007s.
yeah, 007.
But when you say British,
It's just
what does that mean?
it's
Boring?
just a British
No,
bar.
it's
It's just a
not
British
boring.
bar.
It's helped
And-
us work, rest, and play all of these years.
Yeah, it helps you work, rest, and play, but it didn't have seasoning. I wanted a topic.
for
I
real
wanted
though.
a marathon.
For real
This was so
It is
British.
It doesn't have seasoning. It's bland.
And it's black, and it didn't work with me. And so
He's right,
it didn't work with me. It helps you work, rest, and play. They brought out a milkshake, but the ice
Oh, that was
cream
good.
bars
Ice cream
were
and
good.
milkshakes were good. Yeah,
They were
I like
good.
them.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Mars bar. And it's called that all around the world. So
Yeah.
everyone knows the Mars bar. Helps you work, rest, and play.
You like the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he
Yeah.
does.
But I like
So-
a Mars a day.
Day
Helps you work, rest, and play.
The Tory version.
That was
Innit?
the good
So-
one.
For real.
Yeah.
Tory version, I like that version. So, up against the Mars bar, the boring Mars bar, is this one. This one had a good advert, and this is like Dr. Pepper as well. It's like, no, this is the root beer of chocolate. It was a weird taste, but everybody liked it, and it was like taking ecstasy. You didn't know what was in it, but you loved it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the double decker.
The double.
Ooh.
Taking ecstasy.
It's an odd mix, man. I wasn't a fan. I'm still not a fan. That's one of them ones that stay in the box if it's a celebration. That stays in there.
The
I wasn't a
double
fan.
decker.
It was
Is
too
there-
hard.
is anybody a fan of the double decker?
Was that
I was
no-
a fan of the double decker.
I don't mind a double decker
The
either.
double decker. Listen, I still get that.
Back in the day, I don't think it tastes the same anymore. I think it's different now. But back in the day,
Better
I was
or-
partial to worse. And nothing
worse.
tastes better
They
anymore.
tasted bad in the day.
You think so?
I was partial to. I didn't mind the double decker.
Double decker was the
As I
one.
said, it's a very acquired taste.
I wouldn't say it was the one, but it was.
I never liked it.
Yeah, I wouldn't dash one.
Cadbury's double decker.
There you
Cadbury's
go.
double decker.
I remember that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do remember
that's
that.
the advert, Leroy.
Yeah.
That's
The advert. Come on, Chris.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember the advert.
They're so far apart from each other. Like the
Yeah.
Mars bar is like fish and
Bland.
chips, and a double decker is like,
Everything.
it's, you know, you're getting Chinese. Like it's
Sandwich.
just
That. It's like you're going Taco Bell or something.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
got everything in it.
It's just got. It's just. It has got everything in it. It's got nougat. It's got crispy bits. It's got chocolate. It's got a bit of caramel.
Double decker
It's
was
got-
the one.
It's got
Oh my days, that
I
was
like-
one of my top bars.
I was about to say that.
I don't think that's available in any other country. I think that's only a UK thing, that double decker.
So people around the world, a double decker.
It's named after
Google it.
the
Check it out.
A London bus. They used to be nicknamed a double decker. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
like about it. It's named after a London bus. Apart from
But the
that,
packet weren't red. It didn't have a bus on
no,
it.
you'd
No,
think
no,
it'd be
no,
red.
no.
It was always orange and blue. It's always been orange and blue. Innit,
Orange
the
and
packet?
purple. Wasn't it?
Purple. That's what I was going to say.
Purple, white, orange.
Yeah. And they've been about since '76. They're not.
It's
that
still
old.
going strong.
So Leroy, I would say this is going to be a high score from you then.
This is going to be stratosphere levels. This is top tier for me.
Wow.
Do you remember it having
Oh, wow.
raisins back in the day? Apparently, back in the '80s when
No.
it first launched, it had raisins.
That's what I'm saying. They had everything in it. The double decker was like a bologna sandwich of a chocolate bar. Everything was in it. It's like kebab. It's like a kebab chocolate bar.
It's like a chocolate bar, isn't it?
Put everything together and just serve it to the people.
Chili sauce, fucking chuck it in.
Yeah,
Garlic sauce, chuck it in.
yeah, just chuck it in.
Everything's in it.
I swear people ate that after pubs in the 80s. Yeah, let's get a double decker and a kebab.
No, I know my fellow chocoholics will love the double decker, and have loved the double decker. It's still going strong. That was one of my top bars.
So what? So you're scoring it at 5, I presume.
Listen, I'm knocking the ball out of the park with this one.
He's giving it a 10. He's going to give it 5, and he's going to take the 5 off the Mars and give it to the double decker.
It's cornflakes levels.
Oh hell no!
Wow. Okay.
It ain't.
Wow.
It ain't that good.
It's still traveling. Wow.
Still traveling, mate.
You know,
Double
That's
decker.
a big bonanza 5.
I didn't think people had love for the double decker like that.
The
man.
double decker. That's I'm
Listen.
surprised your admiration and
surprised
love
too.
for a double decker.
We'll put it
Yeah.
to the test. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
I'm giving
please
it
comment
I'm giving it a
on the
generous
double
2.
decker.
Double decker. Yeah. So double decker 5. And what's your Mars bar?
You know what? Wasn't a fan of Mars back in the day, but I do have it nowadays. But back in the day, I'm talking, I'd say 2. A 2 for
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Okay.
I'd
Cool.
agree with that.
You're saying 2 for Mars bar, and what's for double decker stuff?
Yeah.
I'm going to give double decker.
We can't let this one win. I'm using Jedi mind tricks here now. I'll give it a 5. We
No,
can't
yeah.
let
Put
this
it
one
this
win.
way.
I
don't
liked
mind
it
the double.
anyway.
Yeah, I don't mind the double
Yeah,
decker.
he liked it.
I'm
so
toying 4 or 3. I don't know
Okay,
which
yeah.
way I'm going to go.
I'm gonna go.
I think it's 4.
I don't know.
You think
there's
you're
a
trying to
lot
think
going
to
on
stack?
there.
He's trying to Jedi.
Yeah, I think it's 4. I think it's 4.
Shall we come back to you, Stacks? Chris, what you
Yeah, good idea.
What was he phoning a friend?
Not a fan
Yeah.
of double decker. I'm giving it a 2 just because it's called double decker after the London
Yeah.
bus. So that's it. But Mars for me.
No, technically, Route Master in it.
A Route Master double decker.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but Mars for me, I loved the fun size Mars growing up. I thought that was fun. If I had a fun size Mars, I felt
Yeah,
alright,
fun
like-
size Mars weren't bad.
It was a bit bland.
It's just the full size one is rubbish.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
toffee's
Yeah.
okay in it. The chocolate's all right, but yeah, they're
Caramel.
not. They're just not exciting, really. They're not exciting.
Darren, no
But
seasoning.
it is one of them British institution bars that help
such a
work,
British
help us all
bar.
work, rest and play. So I'm going to give that a 4. And what's funny as well is the US does have a Mars bar, but their Mars bar has got almonds in it. And it got pulled. It got pulled as being a Mars bar around the early noughties and got relaunched as Snickers almond. I don't know if they've still got
Joking.
the Mars that we know.
Because we've
Their
got
Mars-
Snickers almond.
Yeah, we got Snickers almond, but our Mars
Yeah,
has never
yeah.
had nuts near it. Their Mars first came with nuts, and then it transformed into Snickers almond.
That's
They
interesting.
probably said this is whack. The original version.
But the original
Yeah.
one got made in the UK by Mr. Mars, whose dad he invented Milky Way in the US. So the son bought the Milky Way here, added toffee, and made a Mars.
So what you're saying is Mars is the child of a Milky Way.
Yeah.
Milky Way's the dad.
Yeah, you'd think it the other way around. I always think the other way
Mars.
around.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
some
Mars
Star
was
Wars shit
the
there,
first
man.
chocolate ever made.
Wow. So Milky Way is the daddy
The daddy is the Darth Vader
of Mars.
yeah.
That's impossible.
No, it's not true.
Wow. So what's your score?
So Mars, I'm going four for a Mars because it's okay, and it is a classic British
It's
chocolate.
just that a can of Coke
No.
That
and
and
salt and vinegar crisp. I saw that all the time, and jam sandwiches. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
It was dead.
Oh no!
I wouldn't
That
buy
was
it if
it.
I had money, but I'd eat one. I'll be buying something.
What, jam
It was
sandwich?
Mars.
No, not jam sandwich.
Oh.
I mean a Mars.
Oh.
One of them ones you go out and buy, but people would buy you Mars Easter eggs or Mars Christmases.
Yeah.
So I'd end up with fucking shitloads of Marses.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I tell you who likes the Mars, it's the athletes.
Yeah,
Athletes.
No,
They've
they like
tried
it, but they're being
selling it.
sponsored by it. That's
Yeah,
why
they're getting paid.
They have tried-
bloody
they have
like
tried
paying
it.
to
pushing it.
promote it.
They've tried pushing it in that avenue. If you do sports, that's gonna
Glucose and
replace.
this and
Yeah.
Glucose,
Which
yeah.
I think that's a load of. Yeah, I don't think that's right.
Lucas
Yeah,
Aid,
that was
and
good
Mars.
marketing in the
written on your
80s.
backside or something.
Bad market in the 80s. That's all that was. Have
Yeah.
chocolate. Telling athletes you want to run faster, eat chocolate.
Eat chocolate. Smoke some fags while you're at it.
Yeah, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Damn, and have a Big Mac on your way home.
What was your
Bloody
score,
hell.
Stacks, for double decker?
Double Decker's going to get a 3.
That's good. 3-3. And D for both of
Middle
yours,
of the
mate.
road.
Double decker will get a 3, Miles 2.
And I don't know how people can buy them twin bars, like the big
Oh,
size.
loud.
Yeah,
There's a few
nah.
bars. I'm like, why would you buy? I couldn't eat.
No,
two.
Leroy.
Milky
does.
Way.
See how quiet Leroy is. Leroy
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I do it with the bounties.
Leroy
I do
buys
buy
that.
the twin bounties because I can.
Yeah, but that's original though.
That's
Yeah.
how
That's
it
the
came.
original.
That's
Yeah.
how Bounty
But
came. Like
when
that
they
is a-
done Milky
we're
Way twin
twin.
bar, Snickers twin bar,
Yeah,
Mars twin bar, nah, man.
yeah.
It's odd.
No, the
Leroy,
Snickers twin bar.
have you frozen, Leroy?
Leroy's like, what? I buy these all the time.
Yeah, I buy them all the time. I do. There's no frozen for
The
me.
twin bars.
Leroy wasn't
the twin
moving.
bars.
He was just looking at us like, what?
It was an
You only
Arnold
eat one.
moment. Yeah, it was an Arnold moment amalgamated with some Mr. T. What are you talking about, Willis? And get some nuts.
Leroy's saying, quiet, like, what are you lot talking about?
Oh, that's a sad win for double decker for me out of them two, then, mate.
Okay, so let's move on to our last of part 2
These are like the
of our
classics. Now.
favorite 80s chocolates. Yeah, so these two, this
Three. We're
is
gonna-
a triple.
We're gonna do a triple, yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna
but
do a
we
triple.
couldn't make our minds up. But these are so good, and they come. They're like, you know, they're like football teams. They're all the same thing, but they've got different added bits in them. So
These are like the
so,
flagship models for
the
each maker,
flagship
innit?
model, just
They-
like
this
how
is
Mars
their-
Bar
Yeah.
is the British
Is
chocolate.
Mars's,
This
yeah.
is the other British chocolate. This is the one. This is it. Okay, so guys, we left the best till last.
So you say.
We have the dairy milk
Cadbury
versus
Dairy Milk.
the truckers chocolate
I had one of them today, actually.
Brown
versus
cheese Yorkie.
the smooth outer space galaxy.
Mars is
So,
Galaxy.
It's the dairy milk versus the Yorkie versus the Galaxy bar.
For our US listeners, the Galaxy is called Dove. I'm sure it's your Dove bar.
Dove.
If you're in
Okay.
the UK, you ever come to the UK and you want a Dove bar,
Don't
eat
ask for a
it.
dove. They give you a bar of soap.
Don't exactly. Don't eat it. You'll have some clean mouth and fresh breath, but it tastes like shit.
You
It's
don't want to eat a bar of soap.
body soap, man. Yeah, our Dove bars are body soap, but in America, Galaxy is made. I think it's made by Dove. Dove is the company, I think. And
Okay.
they're just
So what we
called
going?
Dove
What we
bars.
going for? What we going for, guys? Stacks. What are you saying?
I'm
Dairy
gonna
milk,
say
Yorkie, or
Yorkie.
Galaxy? Yeah,
Peanut Yorkie.
Yeah.
5. Straight up.
Yorkie peanut, Yorkie 5. Okay.
Five.
Dairy
Yeah.
milk or whole nut dairy milk.
Yep.
5.
Okay. Galaxy.
3.
Okay.
But peanut
fair.
Yorkie is the undisputed champ. As
That
far as
one
I'm-
is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
undisputed.
I wish I could
Peanut
find that
Yorkie,
one now.
amazing.
Mate, you can't find them anywhere.
No, you can't find them anywhere.
Leroy, what are you saying?
Well,
Leroy,
DL,
did you buy that whole big bar? Did that video VHS cassette tape size chocolate? Did you
1
buy that
kilo.
size when you were little?
guilty, Your Honor.
Everyone else bought the bar.
The
He
1
had,
kg slab.
he had the slab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guilty, Your Honor.
The tablet.
Guilty.
I remember getting that, and I said to myself, I'm not going to break it. I'm going to eat it. Like, just keep unwinding it and try and eat it.
Man,
And I was
that
sick.
tablet of chocolate. Leroy,
yeah.
tell me,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sorry, man. I did. I think out of the 3, I'm not gonna go for smooth and creamy Galaxy. I liked it.
Mm.
It had a brilliant taste, but I
Yeah.
have to go for the Yorkie.
Yeah,
It's not for girls.
Good girls, man.
yeah, exactly. It was a
Man,
proper.
It was the
It was a proper
chocolate.
man's chocolate.
Yeah.
Get your
That was-
boots
that-
on.
that was the
Get your
whole
donkey
aim for
jacket
it.
on.
That was the whole lane. They made it.
Light
blocks.
Light a swan match on your chin and eat
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's
My
bad.
goodness, man.
I tell you what, a Yorkie is a meal, you know. Right? I ain't funny.
Have it with ketchup.
No,
on the plate.
listen.
I went to the tuck shop today because there was a Snickers in there, yeah. And I was like, there's only 1 Snickers left. I better go in there and nab that. Went there, someone had nabbed the Snickers. I
Always
was
happens.
fuming.
Yeah.
What was
Happened
left?
to
The
me last
Yorkie,
night.
like a plain Yorkie. No, I'm having that. Took the
Mm.
Yorkie. Took me ages to finish it. It's
Wow.
just
That was your lunch.
It's them chunky blocks.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
them chunky
It is.
blocks.
It
proper
is
chunky,
chunky.
but really nice.
They
It
can
is
mash
really
up the
nice.
roof of your mouth
They
sometimes.
can.
I think texture wise, it has to be the Dairy Milk and the Galaxy.
Yeah. There's
But for because like I said, as a kid, I loved the big bars,
Yeah.
and I go for the Yorkie. My favorite Yorkie is the biscuit and raisin one.
Biscuit
Lovely.
and raisin's nice. It's nice.
Big and chunky. It was like brown edible Lego.
yeah. it was
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
And when it came in Easter egg form, oh my goodness, yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Yorkie was the one for me.
Okay. So what's the scores?
So I'm gonna give Yorkie a 5. I'm
Okay.
gonna give a Galaxy because it was nice and rich and creamy,
Mm.
and I'll give that a 4. And the Dairy Milk, as good as it was, big up Cadbury's,
Big than that.
I didn't like it because I like the whole nut
Mm.
I like
and the fruit and raisin, but it on its own,
Fruit
it's
and
still a good big bar. But I'm gonna give it a 3.
nut. Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's me.
All right. Fair enough. But you can include fruit and nut and
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
nut and all the
Oh,
other.
and whole nut.
You
Yeah.
can
Ooh.
include
That's
that.
why I gave it a
They-
5 because I included
Yeah,
whole nut.
Ooh,
That's
wow.
why I
Jamaica
Five.
one, and yeah, they done some good.
Wow.
ones.
Burn the
Ooh,
can
wow.
once
Ooh. I'm gonna change my my score.
I know.
Dairy Milk score.
Yeah,
Gonna
man.
be.
You got me sounding like Foghorn Leghorn here. I say, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah. I'm going with 5.
5.
I'm going 5
4.
because fruit and
Yeah.
nut and whole
Yeah.
nut.
Yeah.
Oh my
They're
days.
winners.
They're wicked.
Exactly.
They're wicked. Yeah.
They are
Exactly.
winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to choose, man. Going on the plain bars, I'll give Dairy Milk. It's a classic. And when you try Dairy Milk after you haven't had it for a while, you realise how good that chocolate tastes compared to some other.
They're good in the
chocolates, man.
boxes. When you get it in those selections,
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get a little
just
dairy
the one
milk.
block, the one bit of
Wow.
Lego. Yeah, them ones are
The one with the leg.
They're good.
Between that and say the smoothness and creaminess of Galaxy, again, that's a next level tasting chocolate. I've got to give them two both a 5. I'm giving them 2.
Yeah.
And for Yorkie, I'm gonna give it a 4 because I do love a Yorkie as well. But I feel the chocolate just isn't on the level as Dairy Milk and Galaxy. There's something maybe a bit too much sugar or a bit grainier or something, not as smooth. But it's still tasty.
Yeah, it's definitely not
wicked.
smooth. But then I think the chunkiness of it stops it from having that kind of smooth.
Yeah,
Because you really got to dig in to bite that in
yeah,
half.
you've really got to.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True, it's true.
Yeah, no, it gets a 4 from me. Then 5, 5, 4 for those ones.
Dairy milk for me. What I liked about fruit and nut from Dairy Milk and the biscuit and raisin in Yorkie is that don't know if you guys remember when you're little. It was like roulette for me. When I used to have raisins when I was little. Do you remember sometimes you get the stem still in it?
One with
You know,
a
the
stalk
stem.
in it.
Yeah.
The stalk was still. The stalk.
I
was
never
still,
liked raisins.
mate.
If you didn't know, if you didn't
If that
notice
was
it
in a
and you put it in
chocolate
your
bar,
mouth,
I would never eat a fruit and nut or
Yeah,
or,
that would
or
annoy
Yorkie
me,
cake.
man.
And that never happened. So
Yeah.
for that, you know, they still stood the test of time for me. But I remember eating raisins when I was little and
Right,
having
mate.
that stalk experience, and it was disgusting.
I've had that recently. Obviously, with the cost of living, we've all sort of changed the way we shop and stuff. And from going from buying a fruit and nut or one of them, I've been buying an own brand other supermarket. 3 or 4 times now, I found a stalk in amongst the
Oh,
raisins.
no.
I think twice in the same bar. It's like your quality control is not on Cadbury's
you
level.
get what you
man.
paid for now. You
Get what you paid for.
really get what you paid
Get
for.
what you
But
paid
I
for,
don't
man.
want that experience. I'll never touch a chocolate with raisins again if that happened once.
It does make you feel like that. It makes you feel like I don't want to buy that again. I
Yeah.
don't want to go through that experience again.
I'm so blessed that has happened to me. So, Dairy Milk, I'm giving a 5. Yorkie, I'm giving a 5. Galaxy, I'm giving a 4. All right, so we've done our chocolates part 2. You know that we'll be back with some more chocolates because there are so many candy bars to go through. But yeah, I hope you liked our choices. But we're going to get to the number 1 of part 2. Chris, what is the ultimate chocolate in part 2 of our favorite 80s chocolates?
Drum roll,
It was
please.
close. It was close. And it ain't the one I wanted it to be. It's close. I'm putting joint second place. Joint second place. Munchies and Yorkie.
Oh,
Joint second.
Yeah.
no way.
Wow.
So who on earth is first?
The outright winner is the Dairy Milk with full 20 points.
Wow.
But obviously we've
Pardon?
included the nut, the whole nut.
The Dairy
So,
Milk family.
Oh
Dairy
my
Milk family.
days.
I thought Munchies was going to get
I
it.
demand a
Munchies-
recount.
Nah, Dairy Milk. I think it's worthy because you've got selections.
Well, hold on. Not Dairy Milk on its own, though.
No, we're talking about the
No.
Dairy Milk
The
family.
whole nut, yeah.
The family. All right. Okay. All right. Because I don't want the listeners out there thinking that this Dairy Milk plain chocolate won.
The third place was a tie as well between
Yeah.
Curly Whirly,
Curly Whirly coming third.
Whisper, and Galaxy, all tied 16 points for third.
Yeah, but Curly Whirly, you can
No,
understand.
not a third.
And bringing up the rear with our worst choice of chocolate, even though it's probably the UK's well known, was the Mars.
The Mars, the Mars, but the Mars.
Yeah,
bring
Mars
up
can
the
stay
rear.
down there, man.
It
bring up
can
the
stay,
rear.
Right.
man. It can stay.
It's like cornflakes and ready salted crisps.
Oh, he had to get it in there.
Yeah,
Oscar
I
had to get it in there. Okay. I'm going to
Let
remember
me close
that.
my dustbin lid.
Quick. So yeah, but okay. So in part 1 we had the Drifter at number 1, and in part 2 we just heard we've had the Dairy Milk. So which is the winner out of the Dairy Milk and the Drifter?
Okay,
Drifter.
Drifter.
Oh, hold on. Are we adding whole
Yes.
nut and fruit and nut?
Yes, Dairy
The family.
Milk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole nut then.
Could you break it down to our listeners, DL?
Our listeners know, man.
Yeah, he's saying it so that he doesn't get grief because he's getting grief.
Our listeners
Exactly. I'm catching
listeners
straight
know.
bullets out here.
know. So we all saying Drifters.
I'm going Drifters.
Nah,
I'm going Drifter.
I'm going Dairy Milk.
I'm going Dairy Milk.
That's-
If
it's
if
broad-
But
whole
hold
nuts
on,
included-
wait.
No,
wait,
whole
wait,
nuts
wait,
included and fruit and nuts
I'm going,
included.
yeah.
Okay, whole nut and fruit and nut. Yeah. Over
Yeah.
the Drifter.
Yeah, definitely. All
Yeah,
day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And now I can wipe sweat from my brow.
Cadbury's doing something right with their bars.
Yeah.
They need to
Yeah,
bring
but
back
Cadbury's
some
is-
flavors though, man. Make some
Bars.
next ones. I don't like these fabulous creations or whatever they are.
No, there's loads of flavors.
popping
Did you just say they
candies
need to make some more
Yeah,
flavors?
I'm not-
Yeah.
Do you know how
need
many
to make some-
flavors there are?
I haven't seen. Yeah, but they're all weird. Like Oreo.
They are weird. I gotta say.
I'm not keen on popping candy and
Nah.
chocolate
Bring
either.
back the
now.
rum and
But-
raisins and you know the nice ones.
Yeah, the
but-
rum and raisins was good.
But you got to remember,
Mint.
you got to remember, those chocolates were for 80s taste.
Yeah. These are for
These kids
these,
want
yeah.
everything. Remember, we talked
Yeah,
about it's the double decker of chocolates
Yeah.
now. It's everything put
Yeah,
on
yeah,
one
yeah.
chocolate.
There'll be tacky flavor chocolate soon. There'll be like hot spicy chili. ones.
DL, that was blasphemy. That was a
There'll
shot
be
there.
pepperoni flavored
Yeah,
like
exactly.
bars
Oh.
soon. That double decker is not a go-to bar, man.
Nah, definitely not.
an acquired
Yeah,
taste.
but okay, fair enough.
Fruit and
But
nut
you don't
is-
put it in the
is
category
friendly.
of Mars. A Mars bar.
You do because okay, Mars bar is popular, but British popular. So
I'm sorry. Mars versus double decker. Nah.
When you've been sailing, man, it's the only thing that hits the spot,
Yeah.
isn't it? In the advert.
Mars bar is the go-to chocolate.
When you've been sailing, you know.
That's the advert.
It's the advert,
You're sailing.
When you're getting your Howard's Way on,
and you,
that's what you're at.
You need a
Howard's
Mars
Way.
bar. You need a Mars. Yeah, that
You need
that
the
was
Mars.
the advert.
Howard's
Bloody
Way,
hell,
you know.
yes.
it
That's
gets your
hilarious.
land legs back. When you've got sea legs and you have a Mars, you're back on dry land. You're like, yeah, back to Earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of our favorite 8 chocolate bars. We'll be back with some more versus battles coming to you soon. So, guys, as always, love you. Peace out. That's our Skool Movements podcast.
Till next time. Peace.
Peace.
A Mars a day helps you work, rest, and play.
A finger of fudge is just enough. to
Give your kids a treat. Smooth and creamy galaxy.
He wants a record deal, guys.
Those were the days I remember.